Citizens Major Group.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We welcome Rwanda's first voluntary national report and the commitment to continue championing people-centered development. Much progress has been achieved, but more remains to be done. On the principle of leaving no one behind, we appreciate Rwanda's efforts to ensure that no one is left behind, but much remains to be done to ensure wider inclusion and non-discrimination on any ground as articulated in Rwanda's constitution. We also call upon Rwanda to speed the ratification of the African Union Protocol on the Human Rights of Older People and the National Elderly Policy. Further investment needs to be done in the education sector to ensure quality and lifelong learning and skills development opportunities, especially for the most poor, are implemented. Education should be gender responsive, contextual, and should be at the same time addressing structural and systemic barriers that hinder the full realization of the right to education. This can be through linking education with accessible social protection and public services, like health education, including implementation of the comprehensive sexuality education curriculum that is already in place, and ensure access to sexual and reproductive health and rights services, especially by young women and girls. Regarding SDG 8, the lack of comprehensive living wage policy to ensure decent and equal pay, the burden of unpaid domestic and care work on women and girls, and the lack of adequate private sector regulation and accountability to align with human rights standards remains some challenges. We also recommend that disaster risk reduction policies need to be gender responsive and implemented comprehensively. Overall, we highly recommend addressing the structural and systemic root causes of deprivation and inequalities in all the SDGs, and also recommend using an interlinkage approach to improve multi-stakeholder engagement and coordination, and also post-VNL follow-up. We would like to ask the following questions. How does Rwanda plan to extend the non-conditional social protection programs and public services, especially to the most poor, and in both rural and urban areas? We also want to know how Rwanda wants to...
I thank the representative.